What's good, everybody? It's Blue Set Time. We back with another video, and it's finally that time. We have a Pokemon Presents coming to you February 27th. And this video is more so what I expect to be there, but also just a public service announcement. It's something I want to keep reminding people to not get your hopes up. One thing we see every year is that people end up getting mad because they didn't see certain things here. People get mad because they saw something they didn't like. And first and foremost, I think we got to remember what Pokemon Presents are. Since it's Pokemon Day, I think folks need to remember that Pokemon Day isn't just about the video games. And I know that a lot of fans come to see what new gen is coming, what new games we're gonna get. A lot of people come to these presents ready to see what new game is gonna come out, but gotta remember too that they focus on merchandise as well. They focus on the anime as well, and they focus on the mobile games as well. So when you go into a Pokemon Presents, remember that you're probably not gonna see everything you wanna see, and you're probably gonna see some things that you don't wanna see, because believe it or not, there are Pokemon fans who like other things besides the video games. And those are video games a lot of people have had a lot of skepticism towards, and they want to see the future. So I understand how people feel, and me too. I want to see new video game stuff too. But I've come to understand that Pokemon Day and Pokemon Presents are for the Pokemon fans all around. Not just the video game Pokemon fans, but also the people that love the trading cards, the people that like the mobile games, people that like Pokemon Go. So in knowing that, what do we expect to see? I can give y'all a few predictions, but here are some things that I won't say I'm 100% sure they're gonna be there, but they have a very high chance of being there. First and foremost, Pokemon Go just had an event to, I think it was like a fair, Unova event or something like that, but Pokemon for sure will be talking about Pokemon Go. And maybe they don't this year, but every year so far, they have given us new Pokemon Go news, events that's gonna be happening with Pokemon Go, so I expect to see that. And while we're talking about Pokemon Go, we might as well keep it on the cell phones. I think games like Pokemon Masters, Pokemon Cafe, and any other Pokemon mobile games that people enjoy, there will be some updates for those as well. And again, these are games that they do have a fan base. People do download and play them. There are fans that like the mobile Pokemon games. I remember when Pokemon Go first came out, it was a big phenomenon. And I still see a lot of Pokemon Go fans doing the Pokemon Go events. So it's cool to see that they are getting catered to in these type of events. So I think we will get some news on the Pokemon mobile games and things like that. Also, I expect to see more things on the anime news. As you saw, we had the Pokemon Connoisseur and Pokemon Horizons. There was a bunch of dope animated series that came out in the past year, and some of them getting some more seasons. And they were actually pretty good. The Pokemon anime, of course. And I always like to see what they do or what new mini-series they're gonna show, because they're usually pretty well done. They might do it in a new animation style. Like some of those animes look better than the ones that we watch on TV, and I wish sometimes they would do a full anime of those shorts that they do on YouTube and other places. But I do expect to see updates on the Pokemon anime and things like that. I also expect to see some news on the Pokemon trading card game or things like the Pokemon World Championships. You know, they gotta give an update of where it's gonna be, how it's gonna take place, the rule sets, things like that. The trading card game is still big, and Pokemon Championships and Pokemon tournaments are still big. There's a lot of fans of those, and I love seeing communities get together to celebrate and play games together. That's another thing that Pokemon does well with outside of the video games, is the trading cards, the events that people get to go to. So I do expect to see that as well. But here's the things that I want to happen, or things that people predict to happen, or things that people really want to happen, including me, that I feel like we should see or could be a possibility, or could this be a very wishful wish. First and foremost, I think because Pokemon Day and the 28th anniversary of the launch of Pokemon Red and Green in Japan are on the same day and it's coming up, I think that maybe it's time, which I don't know. I still think Pokemon would want to release these separate so they can get some money for it, but I think that it would be cool to finally see Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Green, all of those handheld Pokemon games to finally hit the Nintendo Online, or at least be put in the eShop. I think if you can make the switch into a place to where all Pokemon games can be played, or at least all of the originals from Red, Blue, Yellow, Silver, Gold, Crystal, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, if you can at least do that and make it to where you can trade and do things like that, I think that will revitalize a lot of people in the Pokemon community to go play those classics. but also find a way to connect it to Pokemon Home and do other things like that. I think that would be cool. Will we see that? I don't know. That's very unlikely, but it sounds nice. Also, maybe it's time for another Pokemon spinoff to come out. We saw Pokemon Snap, we saw Detective Pikachu, we saw a lot of things like that. But what are we finally gonna get some type of Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon XD, Gale of the Darkness, Pokemon Coliseum type of thing? Will we see some more spinoffs in the Pokemon world on the main consoles? It would be dope to see that. Also another wishful thinking thing, but I think Pokemon franchises have room to grow and make different games and ideas happen for all the people that want different things. We saw the success of Power World and people claiming that that's what they want in their Pokemon games. So why not a spinoff that does things that people say they want to cater to the multiple Pokemon fans that love multiple genres? Maybe we'll see something different. Maybe we'll see a return to things like Pokemon Conquest, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I know we ain't never gonna see half of this stuff. Pokemon Rangers is one of those I just don't see happening again, but never say never, right? Speaking of spinoffs, the big spinoff that people want to see again is Pokemon Legends. And there's a couple places that it can go, and I think Legends Unova or Legends Celebi or something like that would be the best bet. But also it'd be good. That spinoff was very popular and it was a different spin on Pokemon. And I would love to go in and see the history of Johto or see things like the history of Unova. Two games that have some very rich history that you can go back and look into. Like imagine having a Pokemon game where you go right in before Entei and Suicune and Rayquaza fall in the silver, 10 tower, one of those towers. I think that would be dope to see and experience in a new game. But I know that Legends would be a very wanted game, and hopefully they continue that spin-off series. Other spin-offs that some people may not want, we might see. Let's Go Johto. I don't know how many people are excited about that. I would love to see Johto again in a different light, in 3D, full 3D, but I wasn't the biggest fan of Let's Go games because I don't like you gotta just catch Pokemon and you can't battle wild Pokemon. I know it's supposed to be easy, but that just wasn't for me. But I know a lot of people like that series, a lot of people like Johto, and why not? You might as well do it, right? But the big one that people think is coming is we're going back to Black and White. We're going back to Unova, and a lot of people are saying there are remakes coming out. And there's been a lot of signs in a lot of the recent Pokemon games from lore, from Pokemon and the DLC being from that region. Like Gen 5 remakes sound like the sure go-to, and also to give it a break so we don't see a new gen. I don't think we need to see a new gen right away. I think they need to be working on that and letting this same gen cook. So could we get DLC for Scarlet and Violet? They're probably through with that. But I think seeing Black and White in a new light would be cool. I know that people do not want them to get the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl remake treatment from the other company, but I do know people want other companies to try to work on Pokemon. So will they do that then? Who knows? Or will it be a new remake that goes full 3D and utilizes the Switch? Or will it be another sequel? Black and White 2 was the first Pokemon games to have sequels. Do we get Black and White 3? That would be dope, and I think I would like that more than anything. But that's it for my predictions. That's it for what I think we're going to see. And I'm pretty sure those last couple things I talked about, that's hit it. Look, it's not a good chance. It's not a bad chance. It's just 50-50 that we see things like that. But like I say, just take everything with a grain of salt. Go into these presentations expecting nothing, and you might get something from it. But also just remember that these Pokemon Presents are really focused on the franchise as a whole and not the games. And hopefully I don't have to make a video after this saying that y'all shouldn't be mad at that direct, because I know y'all gonna give it a grade. Y'all gonna say it sucked. I'm ready for it, but that's cool. That's your opinion, and that's fine. So let me know in the comment section what you predict is gonna happen and what you expect to see at this Pokemon Presents. And let me know how you feel about it afterwards. But y'all have a good one. I appreciate y'all always for watching. And let me know any type of other Pokemon content you want me to make, other video game content you want me to make. And y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.